We have a whopping 19 offensive linemen to get through today. This is our new largest position group preview. I'm not super surprised because there's 5 starting at all times, and it's quite a physical position. So you need lots of backups. So it's not really that shocking. We're going to go less into stats today, more just about size and player story, right? Because I feel especially, like pressures, things that's important, but the stats aren't quite as important as they are for skill group positions. Also, if I read all their stats, we would be here all night. So I'm trying to get through this. So I think I have a pretty good structure for this one. We're going to do the same format I introduced last week, where we're going to do returners, then transfers, then as in new transfers, not like someone who transferred a few years ago. Then they'd be considered a returner. Returners who did not play, and then new recruits, true freshmen. So I'm going to go with, of our 19 offensive linemen, there are 5 returners who played last year, all who are probably going to play. 1 transfer. There are 9 returners who did not play. Some of them are very interesting. And then there are 4 new recruits. So let's get into it, starting, of course, with our returners. These are going to be the most important guys for 2025. These are the guys you're going to want to look at now. So we have Melvin Priestley first up. Then we have Josh Kreutz, Josh Gesky, J.C. Davis, and Brandon Henderson. These 5 returners are also probably going to be your 5 starters, in my opinion, because they all were starting at the end of last year, and they are all back, which is really exciting. We know that there's a lot of Illinois players returning this year. They have one of the highest return rates in the entire country. They're very experienced. The offensive line group is huge. Probably the biggest position that you want. That veteran experience plus just extra years of muscle is so much more important on the offensive line. 4 of them are seniors, too, these returners. Let's get into it. I'll stop wasting your time. So, Melvin Priestley, he's going to be wearing number 58. He is 6'4", 315. He is a senior from St. Louis. He went to East St. Louis High School in Illinois. He started every game last season at right tackle. He was an all Big Ten honorable mention. He did play at left tackle as well, so he has some versatility. In 2023, that was his final year at Grambling State. He then transferred to Illinois last year with 2 years of eligibility remaining, so we've got him for 1 more. So he's got a lot of versatility. He's probably going to keep his spot at right tackle, though, because, again, there's just not much competition, especially when you started every game last year. There's really no clear-cut choice to usurp any of these starters. So Melvin Priestley, I'm going to say all these are locks. I would be shocked if any of these guys weren't starting. He is almost a lock for your starting right tackle. Next is Josh Kreutz, number 64. He is 6'2", 290. He is a senior from Loyola Academy. He was a team captain last year. He started every game at center, so the leader of this offensive line. He has made 24 consecutive starts, dating back 2 years, that would be. He was a All Big Ten honorable mention for coaches and media for 2 years in a row, so the last 2 seasons. And he was very highly graded by Pro Football Focus in 3 games, specifically Rutgers, Michigan State, really every game, but these are the ones that really stood out. Rutgers game, Michigan State, and then Nebraska. That Nebraska game, he was the number 4 graded center nationally that week. He played 70 snaps in that game and earned that grade from Pro Football Focus. Fun fact, his father, Olin, was a 6-time Pro Bowler for the Bears, bear down. And he's obviously started 24 games in a row at center, and they really have no one else on their roster that has experience at center anyway. So Josh Kreutz is probably the biggest lock of anyone to be starting in his role at center. Next is Josh Gesky. He is 6'5", 325. He is a senior from Mantano, Illinois. He started all 13 games at left guard for the Illini last season. He was also an all Big Ten honorable mention for the coaches and media poll. Also 2 years in a row. And then I think he's very clearly the choice at left guard because, again, he started every game there. There isn't really too much competition. And then the last of what I'd say are 4 locks. I know I said all locks earlier. There's one that I'm pretty sure is going to start. But this is the last lock. And this also should be probably the easiest lock other than Kreutz at center, actually, because I did just say that, didn't I? But, I mean, they're all locks. I don't know what else to say, man. J.C. Davis, wearing number 74. He's 6'5", 320 pounds. He is a fifth-year senior from Oakland, California. So he's coming back for an extra year of eligibility. He announced he was returning on January 4th of this year. So that's very exciting. He started all 13 games at left tackle last season. He was all Big Ten third team. And then that was for the coaches poll. And then the media poll had him an honorable mention. He allowed 0 pressures in the Cheez-It Bowl against an SEC defense. Very impressive. He was also named a top 100 newcomer by ESPN last year since he transferred from New Mexico the year prior, the Lobos. He has made 37 consecutive starts. So take that, Kreutz, 37. That's 3 years. Entering 2025, so he's really going to run that up. They play 13 games again, which I'm sure they'll at least play 13 games again. I'm hoping they play more because of the college football playoff, but he should get to 50 consecutive starts to end his career. That is a huge achievement for J.C. Davis. Knock on wood, of course. Injury would be the only thing keeping him from that because he is definitely going to start at left tackle. Left tackle is always, unless you got a lefty quarterback, the most important position, in my opinion, on the offensive line because it's a blind side and also you're the tackle, so you're getting the more speedy guys out there to block. Very comfortable J.C. Davis out there. This is an offensive line, experienced offensive line. That's got to make you feel very comfortable. Altmaier is going to have all the time in the world to decide back there. J.C. Davis clearly starting at left tackle. The last returner who played last year is Brandon Henderson, number 75. He is 6'5", 335 pounds. Wow. He is a junior from East St. Louis as well. He's the only junior on this list. All the others were seniors. He played in all 13 games last year. He started in only 6 of them. And when he started at right guard, which is the one position that I haven't set a guy as a lock for already. He played 9 games as well the year before as a true freshman. That was in 2023. He played 9 of their games. His first career start came this season against Purdue, that wild Purdue game. He caught a game-tying touchdown as well, if you remember that, against Nebraska. That was a 6-yard touchdown he scored. That was on a 4th and 2, I think. I'm guessing that he's going to start at right guard. He's less of a lock, but he did start after some decent play in the beginning of the year. And I don't think he's going to lose his spot as well. There's really only one other guy besides these 5 that I think can compete for a starting spot. But he's more of a tackle, and that's why I'm projecting that Brandon Henderson is going to fully have the starting role at right guard, mainly because of his experience, but also he's played at that position. Like the other 4 guys ahead of him, the 4 seniors, clearly all have their position that they all started in last year. So Henderson just kind of filled in there at the end of the year. I think he's easily going to be the starter at right guard. So those 5 returners are probably your 5 starters. Now let's get into some guys that you probably don't know as well. Starting with our transfers. I always like to do transfers before returners who did not play just because I feel like transfers typically make more of an impact. That's obviously not true in every case, but I feel like in general that is true. And I feel like that's true here as well. They only have 1 transfer coming in on the offensive line. This is Aiden Napick. He is going to wear number 72. He is 6'6", 295 pounds. He is a senior from Kennewick, Washington. He transferred. This is his final year of eligibility, so it'll just be a 1-year rental. He spent his first 3 years of his career at Idaho in the Kibbe Dome with the Vandals. He was the first team. This is a mouthful. Wow. was first team all Big Sky in 2024, and he started all 14 games for them at left tackle. He went to 2 straight FCS quarterfinals with them. So I was kind of talking about last week with our tight ends transferring from the FCS, how it's hard to know how FCS experience carries over to FBS, but I don't think the competition drop off is that steep. It's not like a Division 1 to Division 2 kind of change, and also I just still think winning experience at any level is good experience. That's something, a playoff experience is something that Illinois does not have. The Cheez-It Bowl was great, but that wasn't a playoff game at the end of the day. So he brings that. He knows how to play in those kind of pressure games. And also, if you want to know more about how that FCS talent is going to translate to the Big Ten, he played a Big Ten opponent last year. He played at Oregon in week 1. He allowed only 2 pressures in the 48 snaps he played against the Ducks. He is pretty unlikely to start just because I think the experience ahead of him is far too steep. But, I mean, he did well against Oregon. He had a great season for Idaho. He brings winning experience, and I think he's going to be I think he'd be the clear pick to sub in if anyone were to go down. I mean, he'll still get snaps offensive. It's not like you don't play at all if you're on the offensive line, right? We know that, but and you're not a starter. I mean, you're still going to play, but Napick for sure is still going to get some playing time, even though I think he's unlikely to start. That's a very exciting, bringing even more experience to an already experienced offensive line, but also just because he wasn't with the team last year, he doesn't quite have that trust with Bielema that Henderson does. That would be the only guy I could see Napick usurping for a starting spot. But I'm going to go with Henderson there. Still really excited to have Napick on board, though. That's another veteran that adds to this group. Now we're going to get into some returners who did not play. Now, there are some guys who are probably going to see some playing time since the returners are mighty, but they are still thin. There's only 5 of them. That's exactly how many starters you have. So, I mean, there's probably the top 6, too, with Napick's experience. They're going to be ahead of him. But still, some of these returners I think are very exciting. We're going to start off with TJ McMillan, number 55. He's 6'3", 295. He's a redshirt freshman from Naperville, Illinois. He went to my high school, actually, St. Francis High School. He played for his dad, Bob, there. He is a 3-star recruit. He is ranked the number 9 offensive line recruit by Rivals and number 11 by ESPN. He was a 4-year letter winner for my Spartans. He had 110 pancakes, my favorite stat, as his senior. His other offers included Arizona State, Kansas State, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Penn State. Those aren't all his offers. Those are just the most notable ones that I feel like are worth mentioning. And I think he definitely could get into the rotation, right? I always throw redshirt freshmen in this category of returners who did not play because they're not new. They've been around the team. They just haven't played yet. So I feel like they belong in this category. Definitely the guys that you're more likely to see are the redshirt freshmen, who the only reason they didn't play last year is because they're good recruits and they're bulking up. TJ's a good recruit. Really love to see a Spartan on the Illini roster. And I think he definitely could get into the rotation. That's not true for all these returners who did not play last year, but definitely TJ McMillan could see him play as well. I would love to see that. I'm probably biased saying that. I'm probably just hoping that I see a Spartan and get in there for the Illini. But I think he could. I think he could, especially based off his track record and his recruiting record. Next is Zach Barrett. He is wearing number 57. He is 6'3", 280 pounds. He is a redshirt freshman from Orland Park, Illinois. He was not ranked as a recruit out of high school, but he was a 4-year letter winner at Carl Sandburg High School. 2-time all-conference and 2-time team captain while he was there. He's less likely to see some playing time. I'm going to say this year he does not see any playing time as my prediction. I would love for any of these guys to prove me wrong, though. I I really would. I just don't really see a path with all those guys ahead of him. Is really going to be the only reason for most of these guys. Next is one of the most interesting stories I found of all 19 guys. Probably the most interesting story I found of all, who am I kidding? Of all 19 guys that we are talking about today. This is Joop Engbers. He's wearing number 60. He is 6'4", 305 pounds. He is a sophomore from Oak Park, Illinois. He redshirted in 2023 and then did not play last season. He was born in Singapore. Follow this journey. I love this. He was born in Singapore, then moved to the Netherlands, got Dutch citizenship. Then he also lived in Indonesia and then Papua New Guinea before moving to the U.S., and then he lived in 3 different places in the U.S. So he was not introduced to football since he was living abroad until his sophomore year at a high school in Waco, Texas. So he was not ranked as a recruit out of high school, but he went to IMG after that. So he goes from Papua New Guinea, then moves to Waco, Texas for 2 years. Is first introduced to football while in high school. And then after 2 years of success, transfers to IMG Academy in Florida. And then senior year transfers to Fenwick High School. That is not too far away. Incredible story. I love that journey. I mean, I feel like he's pretty unlikely to play, but I would love to see that, right? Joop, my man Joop, I would love to see him play. He was still a 4-year letter winner at not at Fenwick. He was 4-year letter winner at 3 different high schools, which is remarkably impressive. He was at Fenwick too, but for 1 year. But crazy. He lived in 4 different countries before he moved to the U.S. He was introduced to football so late, which again is why I feel like he wouldn't make he's on the roster, but he wouldn't get to play this year is what I'm thinking. Just because he doesn't have that same level of experience. Regardless, remarkably impressive that he's only known about football for a couple of years and he's already reached this level. Next is going to be Desmond Schuster, number 63. He is 6'5", 335 pounds. He is a senior from Gonzales, Louisiana. He played at Hutchinson Community College, that is in Kansas, in 2022 as a redshirt freshman. So he redshirted at community college and played community college. Did really well there. He was the number 1 ranked offensive lineman JUCO recruit by ESPN, and then number 2 by 24/7 Sports. He also got an offer from Nebraska. That was the only other offer I could find on him, but pretty on par. He joined Illinois in 2023, but he missed the season with injury. And then he did not play in 2024. I am unsure if that is due to still recovery or just, being buried on that roster. It's probably a combination of both. That's Desmond Schuster for you. I doubt we see him in 2025. Kellen Francis, wearing number 65. He is 6'5", 320 pounds. He is a junior from Princeville, Illinois. He says he grew up as an Illini fan. We always love to see that. He played his freshman year at Butler Community College. That is also in Kansas. I found that odd. And he played in 7 games there as a true freshman as a guard. Then he transferred to Illinois. He was a late transfer. He didn't transfer till June of 2024. So they're already in summer camp by the time he transferred. And then so he redshirted this season after that. So he redshirted his sophomore season. But he's still classified as a junior because I guess because he redshirted after freshman year. That's not very common. I don't think I've really seen that before. But he was not ranked as a recruit out of high school. Therefore, I feel he is unlikely to play as well. Brandon Hanson, he's going to wear 66, and he's 6'6", 335 pounds. He's a sophomore from Mundelein, Illinois. He is a 3-star recruit out of high school. He was a 2-time All-Area and Conference selection. His other offers were Central Michigan and Toledo. He was the first Illini commit of their 2024 class. And I think he could see some playing time. I don't think it's impossible like some of these other guys. but I think he's got a lot more of an outside chance than some of the guys I was talking about. Again, there's just way too much experience at the top of this roster. Next is Zach Amlin. He is wearing number 70, 6'6", 305 pounds. A sophomore from South Brunswick, New Jersey. He redshirted the 2023 season and did not play last year. He was a 3-star recruit, 4-year letter winner at the Hun School. Yeah, that's the name of his high school. That's pretty sick. Other offers included Kentucky, Louisville, Maryland, Rutgers, and Vanderbilt. And same as Hansen, I could kind of see him sneaking in there. I still feel like it's unlikely, but I think the fact that they've been with the team a little bit, like they would get the nod if a ton of guys were to go down or something. He could sneak in there. It's pretty unlikely, but I think it's more. I see it more. It's more plausible than with Amlin than some of these other guys. Eddie Turk, wearing number 78. He is 6'4", 325 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman from LaGrange, Illinois. He's a 4-star recruit by Rivals. They always like to give these Illinois 3 stars 4 stars. I love to see that because he's a 3-star by the other. That's ESPN 24/7 Sports. He was ranked number 36 defensive lineman. Defensive lineman. Yes, that is not a misquote. He played defensive line in high school by Rivals. He was 3-time All-Conference doing that. His other offers included a big, really impressive list here. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Duke, Iowa, Iowa State, Kansas State, Louisville, Miami, Michigan, Ole Miss, and Nebraska. So really good offers. A lot of SEC and Big 12, Big 10 offers in there. I think he could see some playing time. But I just feel like he's learning a new position now because he was a defensive lineman in high school. So I'd say he's less likely to play than the 2 guys I just mentioned. I think that's fair to say because he was a 3-star recruit, even 4-star recruit, but that was as a defensive lineman. I do not have much information on why that position switch is taking place. But know that Eddie Turk is an offensive lineman, but all those rankings are as a defensive lineman. So I can't take that as could see some playing time. Lastly, for our returners who did not play is Zafir Stewart. He's wearing number 79, 6'6", 355 pounds. That will be the highest we see on this 19-player list. He's a redshirt freshman from Philadelphia, a 3-star recruit. His other offers included Maryland, Ole Miss, Nebraska, Penn State, Pitt, and Rutgers, to name a few. I think he could play because he's huge. He's 355. I mean, he's massive. He played in a big area, right? He played in Philadelphia, a lot of competition there. Got good offers besides that 3-star recruit. I see no reason why he can't play. Plus, he was a redshirt freshman. That's the only reason why he didn't play last year. Zafir's a big boy, and I think he could sneak into the back end of that rotation, maybe even start the year after. Obviously, no one else has a chance to start. Lastly, we're going to get into our new recruits. We'll see if we see any of them on the field this year, but we have 4 new recruits for the offensive line. First is going to be Griffin Rousseau, wearing number 54. He is 6'7", 325 pounds. He is from Stoughton, Wisconsin. He's a 3-star recruit. ESPN ranked him the number 6 recruit in the state of Wisconsin for the 2025 class. He was a 4-year letter winner at his high school, 2-time All-Conference. He had other offers from Duke and Syracuse. I think he is rather unlikely to play, though. Again, just too much experience. I think I'm going to just stop saying that for these new recruits. I would have a hard time seeing any of them play just because there's so much experience ahead of them. So just take notes of them more for the future. Next, J.J. Hurts, wearing number 56. He is 6'6", 280. He is from Coopersville, Michigan. He is a 3-star recruit, 3-year letter winner as well. He was all-conference and all-region in his senior year last season. His other offers included Central, Eastern, and Western Michigan, so all corners of the state, and then Northern Illinois as well, the Huskies. Next, Michael McDonough, number 68, 6'3", 295. He is from Tinley Park, Illinois. He is a 3-star recruit. ESPN ranked him as a number 13 recruit in the state of Illinois for the 2025 class. He's a 4-year letter winner, 2-time All-Conference. His other offers were Boston College, Colorado, and Purdue. Lastly, ending number 19 on this list is Dylan Frechette. He had no number listed, which I kind of talked about last week with the tight end preview. I feel like having no number listed by this point, like spring ball is almost over at this point, that I think he's probably going to redshirt this season, which would make it quite literally impossible for him to play. But he is 6'5", 295 pounds. He's from Central Falls, Rhode Island. He played at Cardinal Newman High School in Florida, though, by the time he got to high school. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of there. His other offers were Akron, FIU, Pitt, Western Kentucky. I think he's a likely redshirt, even if he wasn't. I don't think his other offers just quite stack up to the other offers that these other recruits were getting. Even some of the returners who did not play in the previous seasons had some nicer offers there. I mean, you don't want to judge everything based on just offers, right? I mean, because we have guys who don't get big offers who are fantastic. I'm not going to list any examples right now because we'd be here all night. But that is your offensive line. Those are 19 guys on the spring roster that we just went through. Just to recap for you, here's my expected starting offensive line, because I know we got to that like 20-odd-ish minutes ago. Left tackle is going to be J.C. Davis. Left guard is going to be Josh Gesky. Center is going to be Josh Kreutz. Right guard, Brandon Henderson. And right tackle, Melvin Priestley. That is my projection. I would find it hard for anyone to have any projection different than that. The only question mark would be maybe Brandon Henderson, and I still think he's a very strong candidate to start there. So overall, there's just a really good, experienced offensive line at the top. I'm really excited to have those years of muscle that these guys have built up, these years of experience protecting Altmyer. I mean, they're going to be the heart and soul of this offense. These are leaders. These are seniors. They're going to be great. They were great last year. They're going to be great again this year. Love to see the whole starting offensive line return.